Hello, I'm Dr. Margaret Rogers Van Coops, and welcome to my video. I've been doing a show called Journey into an Unknown World for over 2 years now. That's on the radio on webtalkradio.net, and I'm happy to announce that all my shows can be downloaded from iTunes. So all you have to do is go there and you can get all 40 odd shows and listen to me wherever you are and doing whatever you're doing. Today I thought I'd like to talk about how busy your mind is. Perhaps you haven't stopped to think just how much your brain is constantly on the go. You may say, well, when I go to sleep, I don't know what I'm doing, so I guess my brain is resting. But actually your brain is very busy deciding which parts of your body need more oxygen, which part of your body is having a chemical imbalance and needs something to happen there. Of course, all the organs in your bodies have to be monitored all the time, so your poor brain doesn't get much of a rest. That part is really automatic. It's deep inside you. You don't even know that you're actually controlling every part of your body. Then there's the part of you that likes to think about your history, all the things you've done, all the people you've talked to, all the places you've seen, all the words that you've heard. In fact, your brain has a lot of memories that are stored in your subconscious mind. You don't walk around thinking about those things all the time, but actually anytime you see something that attracts your attention, your brain will immediately scan your subconscious mind looking for some similar things. When I was in England, I had to come back via Houston. It's a big airport, and I had to wait a while. Actually, I had to wait for 4 hours before my next trip, the next part of my trip back to Arizona. So I was sitting in a restaurant, and I was basically staring straight ahead, just like I'm doing right now. But I was always allowing my mind to watch the peripheries. So of course I'm sitting here on my own, so there's not much moving. But when you're in a busy airport, there are people coming and going by all the time. There are people way off in the distance that are doing something, as well as people right beside me doing things. And I was just gazing quietly ahead of myself. But I was actually allowing my brain to watch all those little movements that were going on, things that I normally might ignore as uninteresting, like a person walking past me in a purple outfit while another person was standing nearby trying to straighten out their groceries that they bought, while another person just behind them was looking at their suitcase to see if it was all, whatever they thought it should be. And still another person behind them was walking towards a massage chair to have a moment or two, I suppose, of peace. That was just one focus. I was just looking straight ahead. But as I started to expand my vision, I began to realize, hey, I was really seeing a lot. Later I was watching a video, and I was watching the characters just like you're watching my face, and I was paying great attention to everything that they were doing, and I suddenly found myself thinking, what's going on in the background? Oh my goodness, look at the furniture that there is in that room, and oh, that set is marvelous. And oh, look at all those people walking by in the background that I hadn't noticed before, and so on. So I decided to watch my favorite movie, Gone with the Wind. Do you know how much is going on in the background that we normally don't even notice because we're so busy looking at Vivian Lee, thinking how gorgeous she is, or looking at Rhett Butler and thinking how all men should be as masculine as him, etc. I advise you, when you've got time, to watch a video, a movie, and see what you can see behind what you normally look at. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't watch the person that you're used to watching. I was actually looking at the news the other day and I was watching someone telling me what was happening in CNN, while at the same time I was watching a little window where some action was being replayed over and over again, as well as reading the little clip that runs across the border of the screen, telling me what else was going on with the news. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm watching 4 things here: the face of the person, the other person they're talking to, the little window, and the words that are running across. Aren't they clever that I can focus on 4 things at once? And of course then I remembered sitting at the airport and watching hundreds of things at once. So the point of all this little conversation is to say, do you realize just how amazing your brain is? And do you realize just how amazing your 5 senses are? They're busy looking at whatever it is you're seeing, hearing a noise, feeling the energy of what's going on around, sensitive to your body's position and the things that you're thinking and doing in relation to all those things you're seeing and hearing, and of course processing it all in such a way that you are able to make your mind up about who you are and what you are in that moment. And of course, if you're with someone you know, having a conversation about it all, just to justify, rationalize, explain and excuse to yourself why you think you are the way you are, and why you believe what you believe, and why you do the things that you do. But supposing you weren't you, supposing you were you in another time, in another dimension. I mentioned my favorite movie, Gone with the Wind. You know, if I was back in those days, yes, I would love to wear those great, gorgeous crinoline dresses, sweep across the floor. Would I have been vivacious like Vivian Lee? Or would I be quiet and held back like Melanie? Or perhaps I might have been one of the black people who was surely not aware really of who they truly were because they were held down so much. Isn't it marvelous that we can be what we want to be today, that we can open our mouths and tell people what we think and what we feel without being arrested, imprisoned, carried off somewhere for being whatever it is we want to be? Well, you might not think it's so sweet in Syria right now. Well, of course not. But in the Western world generally, most of us are grumbling about our representatives, our bosses, the people who come in and out of our life that seem to in some way control us and stop us from doing what we really want to do. And the truth is, nobody's really stopping you. It's just you making excuses to yourself about certain things that you believe you have to make an issue about. What if someone hit you on the head and you had amnesia? Would you be thinking the same thoughts? I suggest you watch that movie that was made a long time ago. It was called Regarding Henry. Or the other amazing movie, It's a Beautiful Mind. I think that's what it was called. In both cases, I'm sure afterwards you'll stop and think, wow, my brain is amazing. So I'll leave you with that thought and hope you'll come back to me and listen to some more of my videos. There are a lot of them available for you to listen to.